Am I the asshole for not letting her boyfriend sleep over? On mobile and throwaway because my daughter uses Reddit. My 50 male daughter female 20 is in college and stays at her male 21 boyfriend's a lot, which me and my wife do not like very much. We let her do what she wants nonetheless. She pays for her own tuition and works plus pays for all of her own things minus we pay for rent. We have a room for her and she does live with us. She asked if her boyfriend could come sleep over too so that she could feel more comfortable staying at home more often. We said absolutely not. She was upset because she said it was her own room and that she has been dating him almost 3 years. We just will not allow it under our roof and she threatened to move in with him. We really want her to continue living here but do not want them sleeping together under our roof. We do not like it with her there either, but she is an adult. We have a pretty good relationship, so this has been hard for us. So am I the asshole? Edit. My wife and I discussed it a bit and we currently are thinking we can put an air mattress next to her bed if they leave the door a bit cracked. I understand we are the assholes, it is just hard changing our beliefs. We love her and she has really been disconnecting from us and not coming around at all. Edit. Our son already moved out and into an apartment with his girlfriend, he does not come around often. Edit. My daughter texted she found the post. I will do an update once we talk. You are the asshole. While yes, your house, your rules should also be reasonable. Yours are not. We have 2022 not 1822. Face reality. They already do the horizontal tango and probably have for some years. In my opinion, the only reason why that should make really you uncomfortable is if your walls were paper thin. Edit. 1. Thanks for all the upvotes. 2. As I have written in one of my comments, original poster can enforce any house rules they want. But then they shouldn't be surprised if the daughter moves out and their relationship deteriorates. Edit 2. And thanks for the awards. Our 25 years old son often comes to our house, along with his girlfriend to visit us, his aged parents. They stay in his room, technically the guest room now as he lives several hours away. We let him know we could hear everything through the heating ducts. And also he could hear us. Really put a damper on me and dad. Edit for spelling. This is the best analogy for mad, mutually assured destruction I've ever heard. Just let her move out. You have boundaries, she no longer wants to live by those boundaries, so has suggested, not threatened, to move in with him. It seems like she was trying to compromise, and has clearly been following these rules for the past 3 years. You want her to live with you, and, it seems, want to see more of her. She is offering you the chance to change the house rules to keep her living there, and to have her stay more often. You have the right to say no to that deal, but you cannot be mad when she chooses to move out because of it. You don't want her to compromise, you want her to follow your rules and stay. A compromise involves each side making concessions. What concessions have you proposed? This is my favorite response so far. While a parent can set boundaries in their home for their adult children, those adult children don't have to stay in the home to live by them. When I was early 30, 15 years ago, I was living with my boyfriend. When we would go visit my parents, they made him sleep on a sofa. I lived an hour and a half away, so while we did it a few times, eventually I just said, okay, we will only make day trips to your house Christmas? Come in the morning and leave in the evening, etc. They changed their minds pretty fast because they wanted us to hang out. It wasn't an ultimatum, it was just a compromise. I fully lived with the dude and had bills and pets, and they were still living by some stupid standards. The funny thing is I have a different partner now of 10 years, still unmarried, but he has severe sleeping issues and we have separate bedrooms at home. Now when we visit we ask to use 2 guest bedrooms to sleep more comfortably. We all laugh about it now. You are the asshole. And from my perspective, you can only choose between treating her like an adult or suffer the consequence of her moving in with him. My parents did this shit to me. Except I was 28 and already had a child. They didn't want me to move, and as a single mom in college it was very helpful. We had a great relationship. I helped them out, especially my mom who's sick and needs a lot of help around the house or being taken to appointments. They let me live there. In fact, they never wanted me to move out. I didn't date for like 9 years while I was busy trying to build a stable life with a degree and a job for my child. I met my husband at 28. My parents had ridiculous expectations of who I should be with. He wasn't their idea of what I should have. They didn't like me spending time with him when we were dating. I mean, we did everything right. But occasionally when we were engaged or close to being there, he'd spend part of the night here if he didn't have the kids, and I'd go to his place to spend the night frequently. They hated it, tried to tell me to go stop. It became a strain on our relationship. I was an adult and I was being treated like a horrible teenager making stupid decisions. We've been married for a few years now and my relationship with my parents isn't great anymore. My husband never felt welcomed or accepted. I felt shamed for making normal adult decisions. I don't know why these parents think any adult is going to choose them and their ridiculous rules from childhood over a partner. Especially if they are disrespecting said partner and their own adult child's self-autonomy. It only causes issues. You are the asshole. Why are you so interested in your adult child's sex life? My thoughts exactly. Like, she's 20 yo. If you don't like it then let her move out. It's so weird to have a, nobody can have sex in this house except me, rule law. You are the asshole. You say you really want her living at your house but your actions will make her move out with him and potentially distance herself emotionally from you. So it depends what you want more. And also, isn't it a good thing she wants him to come around and stay? I would take it as maybe this is the guy she wants to marry one day and she wants her parents to get to know him and for him to become family. You are the asshole and #X200B, so she will move in with him, and you will not see her much anymore. And #X200B, we have a pretty good relationship. No, you don't. By pretty good relationship, I'm sure he means, I was able to control her up until this point. You are the asshole. You can't preach how much you want her to live with y'all, then lay down a rule that you know makes her not want to live there. We don't want her to have sex, we don't want her boyfriend over, we don't want her to move out. They sure as hell sound like their daughter is a slave and not her own person. Original poster. You are the asshole. Take it or leave it, but accept that your daughter is not yours to control. She's not 3 years old and she knows what's best for her. I was your daughter. My dad would never let boyfriends sleep over even after we lived together for years. Guess whose house I barely visited and grew apart from as I got older? My parents. I loved them, but if I can't be comfortable and welcomed into your home in an adult relationship, then I'm not going to visit very often. I eventually married my now husband, but it was already too late. We didn't feel comfortable at my parents' house. I'm not saying your daughter is going to stop talking to you or even stop loving you, but these are the things that slowly creep into the relationship with her that let her know that you don't respect her as an adult and make her distance herself. The fact that you're so preoccupied with her sex life makes her feel gross too, you know. I really hope original poster sees this. If he wants to continue to have a positive relationship with his daughter and her partner, he'll allow the boyfriend to sleep over. I'd be worried that original poster will experience the same insidious withdrawal that you had with your parents. Not the asshole. You are the asshole. It's your house, so what goes on in it is up to you. However, it's troubling that you say, we let her do what she wants. She's an adult and entitled to make her decisions with what she does with her life. You don't have to answer to anyone regarding what decisions you make about who comes in and out of your home, but it sounds like you need to accept that you don't have the right to control your daughter's life choices. I really like your answer. You can't have it both ways. Either she's an adult or not. It is your house, but she is an adult. Not enough information. Why won't you answer anyone specifically asking you why you have this rule, dislike? And, we don't agree with it, is not a valid reason and doesn't explain why. Because there is no good reason. You are the asshole for trying to impose your ridiculously outdated standards on her. I wish her and her boyfriend the best of luck in their new place. I hope you wake up before they move across the country and you don't see her at all. She's 20. They've been together for 3 years. You're being oddly controlling and weird. They're fucking. Deal with it. I'm pretty sure that in 3 years they've already fucked in your place. Yup. Original poster. Your daughter has likely had sex with her partner at least once in the place she calls home. It's a normal adult thing to do. You are the asshole, not for having boundaries in your house, but for pressuring her to keep living with you while also infantilizing her by saying she isn't allowed to have sex in your house and making it clear that you don't want her to do it elsewhere, either. You're entitled to your own beliefs, whether they're religious or not. You're not entitled to try and coerce her to share them. I distanced myself from my own parents for doing that to me. You're headed down the same path. You are the asshole. She's an adult. You are controlling her even if you don't want to admit. You are generous and letting her sleep at your place is nice, but it seems it's with string attached. She will resent it, and especially the part you don't like that she goes to sleep at her boyfriend. Again, she's an adult. Treat her like an adult and she'll appreciate it. She respect because she has no choice than no boyfriend in your place, but you have absolutely no say in her going to her boyfriend. No assholes here. Your house, your rules. So she's choosing not to be in your house because of those rules. At this point, it's up to you to figure out why you have this rule in place and what you stand to gain or lose by holding on to this rule. Does acknowledging your daughter's sexual activity make you uncomfortable, and why? If you feel it's disrespectful for her to have sex in your house, ask yourself why. And if you had a son rather than a daughter, would you feel the same way? Would you still hold this rule for him? I can't believe I had to scroll so far to find a no assholes here answer. What's with all the people saying he's an asshole? He's a parent enforcing a rule in his home. He's allowed to do that. She's allowed to not like it. There's really no need to involve the morality of either side, nor is there much of a moral argument to be made. I think it's reasonable to have boundaries in your own home, especially if you're covering rent. It's like anytime someone posts about setting boundaries for someone staying with them long term and kicking them out when they disobey those. We generally don't judge them as an assailed. But when it's a kid who is growing up, our tune changes. I think no assholes here. If she can move out, and it's worth adding rent to her plate, she will. If the cost of having the boyfriend spend night is not worth the cost of rent to her, then she'll stay and abide by the rules. She's an adult, she can make her own decision. The parents are adults who have set their boundaries for their house. The parents aren't trying to force her to not have sex, or never stay at her boyfriend's. They're just saying he can't stay there. It makes them uncomfortable. You're allowed to not be uncomfortable in your own home. Not the asshole. Feel like everyone is just calling you one because they personally don't like the rule. But at the end of the day, it's your house. Doesn't matter what your reasons are, if you don't want someone staying there, don't let them. And your daughter has every right to be upset and possibly move out for this reason. Original poster isn't Ta just for having the rule. He's Ta for having the rule and then whining when his daughter wants to take the logical step and move into her own place with her partner. He wants her to live with him as long as possible, but he also wants to treat her like a child the whole time. He cannot have it both ways. Greater than we let her do what she wants nonetheless. Why do I feel like this really means we have been unable to stop her? Your house, your rules, I suppose, but I don't think anyone will be surprised when she moves out. No assholes here. Not enough information. If your grandma or your aunt came to visit and had a special friend, someone she met at bingo or something, would you allow them to share a room if they weren't married? Or if she was a dude and not a girl? Noi under my roof, so stupid, why not? Not without love, noi without commitment, not without consent, not without protection, not without relationship. Why from all the rules you can have you choose the most stupid one? Because you're afraid from women's unregistered sexuality. You need a priest to sign over her private parts so your roof would be able to take it. So stupid, you are the asshole. You are the asshole. Yes, it is your house, your rules. But being an asshole isn't about the rules in a situation but how you treat others. You have made it clear to your daughter that you don't respect her as an adult enough to make her own choices. If there were good reasons you didn't want him over, that would be different, but you made it clear in other comments it is about them having sex. You also assume they already have sex. So you need to ask yourself why it is different under your roof and why you have an issue with this in the first place. Then you need to ask yourself if this is the hill worth dying on when it comes to your relationship with your daughter. There are valid reasons, from extreme ones like, he is a known criminal, down to the more benign, our bedrooms are next to each other and the walls are thin. You are the asshole, she's an adult, yikes, she should move in with him at that age after 3 years.